Thank you, William. So let me just start my timer so I know I'm on time somewhere. So yes, let's start quickly. So talking today shortly about data culture. So is there any data culture in your company? About me, I'll not spend any more time here. So you can find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, or on a Stuttgart user group. But let's jump in our main topic today. So data culture. What is it? Let's start with the culture in general. So culture is beliefs and customs. And when we translate it to data culture, as you can see on Wikipedia, is basically some principles of social practices and making decision and changes according to these results. So what are we talking about here? So why do the company needs to have a data culture? So let's imagine a world where we can make decisions based on trusted data, where all the users have access to tools, reports, and every data they need, and where business users are part of really supported and valued community of practice. Imagine a world where IT can focus really on architecture, strategic investments, and things besides just day-to-day operations of the reports, and where data governance is applied. And also where IT and business can work in a true partnership. So that's ideal world where we are striving and where we are going to. But what happens in a world usually around us, not in an ideal world? So what happens when we enable self-service BI in a large organization without any control, any practice, any governance? Self-service possibilities are, people are unaware of them. Lots of technical problems, lots of licensing confusions. What do I need? Which license to do what? Lots of problems around data quality. Also reinventing the wheel over and over again. So users are not aware what reports or what data sets are existing. Lots of technical issues, lots of service desk loads, and at the end, lack of trust in the platform. So pretty much people are lacking, your adoption is not going in a way it should, because simply people are not believing in that data there is correct. And it's probably not in many cases. How does it usually look like? So we buy a Power BI license in Power BI Pro and distribute it to pretty much everyone. Power BI to you, and everyone. Users are happy, everybody is having data, now we have a data, and let's save the world. Nobody, and when I mean nobody, in my career, a lot of data governance projects, nobody is taking care of best practices, having time for that, or following any guidelines. What happens is we have a huge mess with hundreds of reports. Users are frustrated, calling support department for help. They have questions, they need trainings, they need everything. And that's the real world, besides the ideal world I presented at the beginning. What helps here is governance. So governance models define us best practices, procedures, and responsibilities to secure the usage of our Power BI platform. If you're talking here about any reporting platform, if we are tool agnostic, pretty much the same rules apply. So it doesn't need to be around Microsoft, around Power BI. We can be here completely platform agnostic. And what are the benefits at the end of the governance? So if we start and try to implement governance, we'll have the possibility to have a robust platform where users will know what they are doing, where they will be trained, and platform will be owned by a set of people or a department or a team which is really taking care of it. Also, we can establish a training framework around it. So with providing trainings to users, we help ourselves having a lot less and less problems in the future, at least avoiding those common daily questions. How do I create my report? How do I create a dashboard? What's the difference between those? And so on and so on. Or what's the difference between a Power BI Pro license and premium per user and premium and a free license? So if we establish a training framework, we will at the end have much more educated and platform aware users where we can later on build on that. Also standardization. So pretty much if we apply some high level standards to our self-service reporting, sorry, we will enable the users that they know what is happening, how should I build a new data set, new report, how should I publish it, how should I distribute it to the wider audience, and what steps do I need to do to come there. At the end, if we put everything right, we will have some certain degree of automation, of course. So we can have automated onboarding, also support operating model, licensing, license assignments, and so on and so on. All of that reducing the burden on our IT and support departments. And putting all of that together, we'll come to something which is center of excellence. So usually this is end of the road, and all the companies, all the big enterprises which came down this road and managed to establish a center of excellence know what I'm talking about and why is it useful and what is it actually. So it's pretty much robust framework of all the things around our reporting platform and around our data in the end. So providing best practices, knowledge management, creating reusable assets, also setting up a technology standards, so around architecture and entire technology stacks. When we are talking about reusable assets, so building a lot of templates, design templates, people can reuse and just save them time in development. Providing knowledge management, meaning trainings, a lot of community meetings, so on and so on. So we will come up with pretty much a central place where all the people around Power BI, in this case we are talking about, are coming to, are supported by and enforcing entire governments and all the best practices and standards. So providing solution management, increasing the availability and responsiveness, and also giving them a data, ready to use, trusted data in a single place. So that's coming back from ideal world to current situation and what could come out of that situation. So I think looking at the timing, my 1 minute to go. If there are any quick questions, if not, just type it in chat. And if you want to hear more about this kind of session, I'm doing a lot of also in a full hour version with all the details around it. And if you are interested in anything, just write me down, Twitter, LinkedIn, and let's get in touch over this. Thanks to everybody, and thanks, William, for having me.